Real talk, the metaphor messiah, man. I got this one. Let's go. You ever seen the morning star? Mr. Metaphor Messiah, back to show you who we are. I represent a legacy, a pothead like the 70s, a different kind of mind. They say we only speak in melodies. Legend in the game, I think I found a solution. Got a crazy kind of flow, I need a verbal institution.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy, Dead on Dave, coming at you live from Germany. That's right, ich liebe Deutschland, and I am here to talk to you about SmackDown. That's right, we're going to do our copious SmackDown review. Now, yes, I understand we're a little bit tardy to the party, Marty, but that's okay because sometimes the best things in life are worth waiting for. And everybody knows when you get copious, it doesn't get much better in all of life. And you know what really doesn't get much better in all of wrestling right now, at least in the WWE spectrum, is SmackDown. I mean, once again, 3 weeks in a row, boom, pow, right in the kisser, an absolute knockout blow for SmackDown again. No question what the superior show was over Raw. I mean, it's not even a question anymore. SmackDown is really coming into prominence. I fully expect them to beat Raw in the ratings again. Raw was a very substandard show. Even with Goldberg's return, they put it at the end of the show. And I think most people saw that coming. So the ratings are probably really low, and they just tuned in for the last segment. That's not great for ratings. SmackDown was a balanced show throughout. They put the contract signing right in the middle. They closed the show with a title change. I mean, everything really was done well. And we're going to talk about all of that and one of the many reasons why SmackDown was just far superior once again. And I think there's underlying problems just fundamentally in how the shows are being looked at, like how to construct a show. Raw seems to, I refuse to believe it's just about consideration as, okay, this show is going to be wrestling, this show is going to be drama. It feels far deeper than that. It feels like it is far more guttural. Like it's one show has a clear vision of what they want to do while the other is just lost. It's absolutely anarchy. Nothing seems to be smart or focused on Raw right now. It's incredible. I understand a lot of people are very excited about the fact that Wrestle Kingdom is on, and I've caught a little bit of it. I haven't been able to catch all of it. I'm going to watch the rest of it later. Awesome show so far. It looks like typical Japan type stuff, and I'm not sure if it's any better than last year's, but sure, it's going to be great. Once again, I mean, Wrestle Kingdom 11 is on right now. Make sure you guys are checking it if you just want to see some really cool, good stuff. I did catch some of the Young Bucks match, and I got to be honest, I didn't love it, but that's just me. Anyways, but that's then. This is now. Let's get back to the SmackDown situation because that's what we're talking about. And I did get to finish SmackDown this morning. I actually rewatched the entire show. I caught a little bit of it last night, decided to go to sleep. I was just exhausted. It had nothing to do out of boredom. Just I'm tired, man. Now I got to stay up all night to do these things. So this might become a little bit more common occurrence to see me do this a little bit delayed. It's just the reality of the situation, man. I'm tired. Can't do it all. But that's okay. We're still going to knock this shit out and we're going to do our thing. And I'm glad you guys are here hanging out with me. I see the drip, even though he's all like masturbating over Wrestle Kingdom 11 right now. I see C-Man is here. Terry Snow Queen into moderation. Sleeping Angels. Zach Goodall is here. Mystic Fox Gaming hanging out. Naked Zombie Paranormal TV, which I'm going to be on this Saturday. German time, 10 p.m. So that would be 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Saturday in the States. And of course, Australia time, that is next Friday at 2 in the afternoon. So make sure you guys are checking that out. I'm going to be interviewed by Naked Zombie Paranormal TV. Gonna be awesome. We're going to talk all kinds of stuff, I'm sure. I also have a couple of paranormal things that we'll be talking about. Yeah. Good stuff. So thank you guys, everybody who's here joining me live. I know it's not the most opportune time in the world, but it's good. Zach Dev, I stopped watching WWE Raw after Batista versus John Cena WrestleMania because it started becoming worse and worse. Do you think it's becoming better? Well, first it's worse and worse, but that's okay. Do I think it's becoming better in some aspects? Yeah, I do. I think that there is a lot of good things that are happening. There's a lot of talent, but Raw is actually having a lot of issues. But SmackDown is a hell of a lot better. That's what we're talking about. Let's get into it. They start to show out with, look, I understand. I'm not always the biggest Miz guy. I feel he's one of the most inconsistent performers in wrestling. However, that has not been the case as of late. We're talking for a long stretch now. The Miz has just been consistently dynamite, both in the ring and on the mic, and tonight was no different. Tonight was great because it was 2 solid hours, but there was a story that started, and there was middle and ending, and it started with The Miz coming out and demanding an apology from Renee Young, which of course he did not get. Eventually, after some running down of Miss Renee Young, out comes Dean Ambrose, who gets slapped by Maurice, who I have to say, man, Maurice does not get the credit that she deserves. She is right up there with the Maria Kanellis of the world, with the Maria Stars of the world. If you don't know who Maria Star is, you need to go check yourself on the independent circuit. She's one of the best managers, and not just female managers, in the game today. She is Dustin Starr's wife. Dustin 5-star, my boy, Dustin 5-star's wife. So make sure you check her out as well. She's amazing. And I got to say, Lana's in that category as well, but Maurice might be the best right now. I liked her look, her overall. She's got, yes, it seems it's sexiness, but it seems to be a toned down sexiness. I know it might seem weird with some of the outfits that she wears, but it seems a little bit more, not masculine, but more powerful. She seems to be very strong and confident in her look now. It's not all about just flash and sex appeal. And I got to say, I appreciate that. I think it's doing a very good job. And I like that she's standing right in the way, even in heels, getting in the way of Dean Ambrose, getting in the way of anybody who's coming at her man. I like that, man. And I don't mind The Miz playing that type of heel where he's kind of hiding behind the woman. It's actually kind of fun to see because you don't see that all the time anymore. And it's a cool thing to kind of get. She slaps the shit out of Dean Ambrose again. She had 2 slaps tonight, so good for her. She gets slap happy. And you just knew the night was going to be off and running, and it really was. They go right to the action after that. That opening segment was about 12 minutes. Not too bad at all. And we get ourselves the first match. Baron Corbin and Dolph Ziggler, which we've seen a million times. We've seen this match over and over and over. However, this had some wrinkles to it. This may have been their best match together as far as like wrestling ability. This was actually a really well done match. And it's not even that it was phenomenal. It was just better than what they've done together in the past, aside from that triple threat match, of course. The wrinkle comes at the end after Baron Corbin once again gets another flash victory with that awesome finisher, End of Days. If you don't like the End of Days, something's wrong with your heart. Check your heart, get some new medication, because that's a great finisher. It really is, especially when he hits it clean. Great. After the match, he was going to go destroy Dolphy some more. Throughout the match, we did see a little bit more aggressiveness out of Dolph, which we can't see all the time. So it's not like there's a whole hell of a lot to read into when Dolph goes a little aggro, because we do see this out of him. But the question with Dolph is consistently, what the hell are they going to do with the guy? Because it never seems to be a direction with Dolph. He just seems to be the guy to get into a situation, help put a guy over, and eventually lose. And it gets very boring. So when Dolph Ziggler is about to get destroyed by Baron Corbin, and out comes Kalisto, you start seeing the writing on the wall. You see the frustration, and then that culminates with a sweet chin music. Yes, we are getting a classic Shawn Michaels heel turn here. That's what we are getting in a lot of ways, and that's completely okay with me. I don't have a problem with that, to be completely honest. I know, which is weird, because for years, it's always been about Dolph Ziggler's far too carbon copy of Shawn Michaels. However, going this route back to a naturally better state for Dolph Ziggler, which is heel, I don't mind him channeling a little bit of frustrated Shawn Michaels, and I think it's going to work out well for him. So we see him not only lay out Kalisto, but we see him stand over his body and scream at him that he needs nobody. Really solid work out of Dolphy there. I got to give him some credit. You kind of write Dolph Ziggler off, but if he goes on a really nice heel run, and it's not all about the bad boy heel run that he had when he was with AJ and Big E, And this is just about business, about frustration, about him not being where he wants to be at, 34, 35 years old, whatever he is. This could be a fantastic heel run. Could redefine his career in a lot of ways. So I was excited to see that. And they decide not to just give it one segment. In fact, when they come back from break, we do end up seeing him go to the back where he starts trashing the locker room. And there's a bunch of guys back there. Fat Rhino, Mojo Rawley, who's also fat, and Apollo Crews, who I try to find some fat on Apollo Crews. They're talking, and in comes Ziggler, and Apollo tries to, calm him down. Ziggler, now you may have missed it, he either called, I don't think Apollo Crews' real name is Mark, so he called him a Mark, and that is a straight up Kevin Nash move, and I kind of dug it, man. He goes, listen, Mark, that was kind of cool. I enjoyed that. And he he headbutts him. He headbutts Apollo Crews right in that big old dome of his, and it was on like Donkey Kong from there. I love where this is going. Apollo Crews getting back into a situation. They're not just putting him randomly in a title match, which we've seen out of Apollo for a while now, where he'll just show up and he'll get a random title match for no reason. Now we're going to see Apollo get the build into a feud with a new heel, Dolph Ziggler. This is a brilliant move. It works for everybody, and it gives us something to flesh out that mid-card on SmackDown. Gives us possible contenders to Dean Ambrose. Oh, spoiler, Dean Ambrose, new Intercontinental Champion. We're going to talk about that in a few moments as well. Don't know how long Dean's going to keep it, but still, this gives us an opportunity with now, Corbin's doing all of his stuff. Apollo Crews seems to be getting into a feud with Ziggler. Then, of course, the aforementioned Ziggler. You have this great situation now where the mid-card is going to get stronger, beefier, and there's going to be built-in competitors for Dean Ambrose and the mid-card, and possibly even the main title scene very soon. So very cool stuff. I'm very happy with what they're doing. Of course, SmackDown can't be all great. There has to be a couple moments that make you just want to stab yourself in the face, and there, of course, was. James Ellsworth was that moment. Yes, I'm glad that James Ellsworth has a job. Yes, I'm glad that James Ellsworth is not in the main picture anymore. Yes, I'm even glad that Carmella is a part of this story. However, when James Ellsworth goes to talk, I just find myself looking for a gun. I can't help that. I grab knives, I think about my life choices, and I decide if I just want to end it all, because my God, is he fucking awful. James Ellsworth is horrible. He can't deliver a line, even being awkward. The awkward guy can't be awkward. What the hell is that? You're an awkward individual, obviously. Obviously, you are a naturally awkward person. So they're like, okay, let's have him act awkward. He can't fuck that up. Well, an awkward man can even make awkward look awkward. That's exactly what James Ellsworth did. Unbelievably bad. Unbelievably bad, but luckily it only lasted seconds, and it was followed up by an amazing segment in the back with Dolph Ziggler and Apollo Crews, which I just talked about. Something that is going to fall by the wayside, something that not a lot of people are going to talk about, and blink and you missed it because everything else was so good, but right in the middle here, there was a great building storyline between Becky Lynch and La Luchadora, or should I say, Alexa Bliss. Alexa Bliss turns out to be La Luchadora this week. But then another La Luchadora shows up. This was, of course, after Becky Lynch and La Luchadora had a pretty damn good match, to which Becky made La Luchadora tap out to disarm her. And it was revealed that it was the WWE SmackDown champion, Alexa Bliss. This was a smart move as the second La Luchadora comes out. Man, I hate that name. La Luchadora comes out and beats down Becky. If you don't know by now, who is playing La Luchadora is actually Deonna Purrazzo, who, if you remember, a few weeks back was a victim of Alexa Bliss. So it's actually not the worst thing in the world if it does turn out to be Deonna Purrazzo who is going to be the person, because it builds a new woman in the division. Now, it could turn out to be Mickie James, but I just don't see it. Mickie James is not necessarily a henchman. I don't really want to see that. I'd like to see her get unmasked and be Deonna Purrazzo, and then they're just like, well, wait a second, Deonna was beat up by Alexa Bliss weeks ago. This doesn't make any sense. And then she just kind of explains, you know, she could do something like, well, yeah, Alexa opened my eyes. She opened my eyes to the realities of this business. And if I want to get ahead, these are the things that you have to do sometimes. You got to align yourself with the people who are going to get you ahead. It could be a great way to introduce Deonna Purrazzo. So I really like that. Thought it was a smart move if that's the way they're going to go. Right now, it's probably best to keep La Luchadora. God, I hate that friggin' name. La Luchadora a secret for the moment because this is working. This is a great storyline. I really enjoyed the match. I enjoyed the aftermath. I think they're doing a really good job, and I want to see this build continue. Really good stuff out of the women's division, and hopefully we're going to see more. Hopefully we're going to see more. And if this leads to a new woman being introduced, someone who didn't get all the notoriety and fame like some of the other women did coming out of NXT, like Deonna, this is a really smart move to show that you don't need a title run or a big high-profile NXT run to come out of NXT and be a good star. Now, those of you who know Deonna Purrazzo on the indies, you know she's built a very good career and a very good name for herself. So it's not like she is some flash-in-the-pan jobber from NXT. This is a woman who has paid her dues on the indie scene, and that could be a part of the reason as to why she didn't really get a whole lot of emphasis in NXT, although being down there quite frequently for a little while. But now, while it doesn't seem like she's signed yet, it's probably just an inevitability because this is the best storyline to go with. So I like this. I think it's going in a really good way. After that, we got, I would say, one of the best contract signings I may have ever seen. I mean that seriously. I really do. This was not a chaotic contract signing, at least not to the end. This was just a straight up promo beatdown. I mean, AJ Styles, John Cena come out. And I love the fact that Daniel Bryan doesn't really take away from the situation. Mick Foley would have stood there and said things awkwardly and kind of took away from the situation. Daniel Bryan said some stuff, got kind of insulted, and then left. No big deal. AJ does his thing. I love what AJ is doing, man. He's so damn hot on the mic right now, and I'm really impressed with it because I never saw this out of him. He's still not a wordsmith by any stretch of the imagination, but he's built such a good reputation of what we know he can do in the ring that just by saying words and not fucking it up, you believe it, and you take his words so seriously because of who he is. And he played with the crowd tonight, which was not great. The crowd wasn't fantastic. But during this segment, if you go back and watch it, the crowd ping-pongs back and forth depending on who's talking because both men did such a good job of running each other down. AJ did a very good job talking about how you'll never be The Rock in Hollywood, and now you can't be AJ Styles in the WWE. Love that line. John Cena does basically a prototypical John Cena promo, but with a little bit of an extra twist to it. I do like how he talked a little bit more about the frustration of side of things at time and really about being despised. I like that he used the word despised, and I'm really becoming a fan of because I'm John Cena recognized. I like that new slogan of his, and I think it could become, it's going to work for how he is now or potentially even a heel turn. It's going to be very interesting. I have to follow that up with something because I'm going to take a second here and I'm going to talk about my nightmare scenario that could be building. Now, for all the good that is happening within SmackDown right now, and it's a lot, there is a nightmare scenario on the fucking brink here, and I'm a little bit worried about it. Coming out of Royal Rumble, there's a very good chance that Roman Reigns is going to beat Kevin Owens for the Universal Championship. It's seeming very likely that John Cena is going to take the title off of AJ Styles. And if those two things happen because of ratings situation, which is very likely because they do tend to panic, even though ratings don't matter like they used to. And WWE is still trading at high dollar amount on their stock and all that stuff. I'm sure they want those ratings to go up going in to WrestleMania. And by having those two guys take the belts off of the current champions, which are indie darlings, this could be a statement that we're kind of going back to things that we saw that was just maintaining the status quo from a couple of years ago. That worries me, but that's not the end of my nightmare scenario. The other part of this is people may not want to believe it, but there is a lot of scuttlebutt going backstage. Apparently, that The Undertaker and John Cena for WrestleMania is almost a certainty. And they want to make the match bigger, and a way to do that is to have John Cena have the title going into that match, which I just don't see the point of. I really don't, because he's going to beat The Undertaker anyway. Why have the title? I don't like it. Why this is part of a nightmare scenario is because this would also mean that more than likely Undertaker could be winning the Royal Rumble, which is a huge disservice to the Royal Rumble, because once again, for like the umpteenth year in a row, it would be a guy who simply doesn't need to win the Rumble to get a title shot. If a Raw guy wins the Rumble, Undertaker is completely, perfectly fine to get his shot at WrestleMania. There's no reason not to do it. I hope he's not cleared. I don't want to see him in the Rumble. Only because I don't want to see him win it. I don't want to see him win it. I just don't. Maybe I'm wrong for it, but I don't want to see it. It would make me sad. It would make me hurt to my soul to see The Undertaker beat everybody in the locker room. It's not the right move to make. That is a nightmare scenario for me, because I think it's going to piss a lot of people off, but it'll make enough people happy to where it won't matter. And those are the type of situations that build long-term issues, because you're not building anything beyond a 3-month scope, because that's all this is. And that is a little bit of a problem. You have to start looking beyond WrestleMania at some points. And the reason why you can do that is because it doesn't fucking matter if Taker wins it or not. If you're going to make this move anyway with John Cena and Roman Reigns winning their belts, then why does Taker need to win the Royal Rumble too? That's not going to offset the anger. It might for some people, because people are Undertaker marks, but still, it's a really bad business move. And the reality is, none of those three things need to happen for Royal Rumble to be very successful and a lot of juice generated for WrestleMania. But I do have a feeling that's where we're going. And it kind of bums me out. But regardless, all we can do is talk about the here and now. And the here and now is John Cena did a fantastic job in the ring with AJ Styles in the promo last night. It was great. It was great. I really did enjoy it. I enjoyed it a lot. I thought they absolutely killed it. Baron Corbin coming out, I enjoyed too. Seeing Baron Corbin get in there with two legends and hold his own, even though his mic work is still kind of meh. I love the fact that they are putting him, just like they're doing with Braun Strowman on Raw, they're putting him in spots to look good with legends. That is smart, because Baron Corbin is going to be the guy. Very, very soon, Baron Corbin's going to be the guy. And you have to give him the rub with people like John Cena, with people like AJ Styles. And this is a very good thing for the future. So I was very happy to see that. Once again, smart, long-term, not short-sighted booking by SmackDown is why SmackDown was far superior yet again. We got our second Maurice slap of the night. She worked stiff, boy. She slapped the fuck off of Mrs. Renee Young. Really did slap the shit out of her. Seemed to catch her a little bit low too. I didn't like that. You don't go on the jaw. You gotta get up there high, honey. Gotta get up there high. Good stuff there. We did have to sit through Carmella and Aaliyah, which wasn't bad, but Aaliyah can still be a little bit herky-jerky at times. Not fantastic in the ring, but I see a lot of potential in her. We had to sit through Carmella wearing a James Ellsworth shirt. I mean, if there's one way to make titties unbearable to look at, it is with a James Ellsworth shirt on. That's unfortunate. But it is what it is, and we did get that, and that was fine and dandy, and James Ellsworth is cheering her on in the background, and yay. Have no idea where this is going. Is this going to be a mean girl thing? I have no idea what they're going to do with it. but I'm rolling with it at this point. So, because it didn't take much away from the night. This all leads to American Alpha in an absolute nothing match with Breezango, Febreze, whatever. Fuck the Fashion Police. I don't give a shit. Quick squash match, and it was only to have a promo by the Wyatts. Wyatts touting that they're united, stronger than ever. Of course, Randy Orton kind of putting a little bit of halt on that at the end of the promo with interrupting Luke Harper for run, and Luke Harper doing his big crazy eyes thing there. But still, next week, American Alpha and the Wyatts rematch for the tag team titles. Should be fun. I'm looking forward to that. This all goes away, and we get Nikki Bella versus Natalya, which was kind of a disjointed promo, but when it got good, it got great. Natalya making accusations, basically, that Nikki Bella sucked off Bret Hart. She basically said it. That was great. And she also said that she's better than Bret and all these things, which I kind of like. Natalya doing some good stuff. I'm really happy with what she's doing right now overall. She didn't have a great promo the other week, but it was more about Nikki's non-goodness. Nikki can't act for shit. She can't react to anything. It seems like she just stands there like a mannequin. A very pretty mannequin, but a mannequin nonetheless. This week she was a little bit more animated as she bam, knocks the fuck out of Natalya to end that segment. Not a bad segment at all. Decent little cool down to lead into a main event that people really wanted to see. By the way, two people who need to be fired very, very soon. David Otunga needs to go. He's awful. And the other one, this Dasha Fuentes. She is awful. She is a terrible backstage reporter. My God. She has not gotten through a promo like in weeks without botching. Just awful. You can't do it. You can't do it. Look, I know I botch all the time, but I'm not on WWE television. Sweetie, oh, honey. Come on, man. You got to be better than this. Dasha, I don't mean to be mean, but you got to be better than that. You can, get your words out. Fumbled the words, all types of crazy. But maybe that was meant to do because Ambrose was so intense, maybe. This all leads us to the WWE Intercontinental Championship match between Dean Ambrose and The Miz. Very good match. Very good match. A lot of fun. They did some great stuff. Very happy about that. Thought they killed it. A lot of back and forth. I love that once again Maurice gets involved, slaps Dean Ambrose, but Dean grabs the hand of the ref, will not let him disqualify The Miz. Instead asks for Maurice to be ejected, which he does, and that was great. And we see The Miz losing the Intercontinental Championship to Dean Ambrose in a little bit of a surprise, but not really. They needed a big spot to once again try to capitalize off of the ratings win last week. I do believe they're going to eke out another ratings victory this week. I see it happening. I think it was just a far superior show. Some people thought it was going to be a one-off. I got a feeling based off of how bad Raw was, even with the ending with Goldberg, that I don't think as many people cared about as they might have thought. This was show people are talking about. And I think don't be shocked if they win by a bigger margin this week than they did last week. It's going to be very interesting to see how that boils out. But it's not for a lack of trying if they don't, because this show blew it away. SmackDown absolutely killed it. Absolutely killed it. We get a nice title win out of Dean. I would have liked to have seen Renee get involved at the end, maybe come out and do like a kiss moment, something really sweet, something kind of interesting, maybe almost a Macho Man situation. Maybe he puts her on her shoulder, something like that. I would kind of dug that. Maybe a little hokey, but I would have dug it, man. It would have been cool. They seem to be walking up to the door of acknowledging everything anyway, so why not take it a step farther? Everyone seems to really love Renee. She's fantastic. Personally, I want to see her on a commentary booth sooner rather than later. So I really want to see that happen. I think she's doing great stuff. Dean Ambrose finding his home in the mid-card where he belongs. Very happy to see that. And you know what else I'm happy about? That almost 30 people right now, even at an awkward fucking time, is here joining your boy live as we talk about SmackDown. like Mystic Fox Gaming. Jesus Christ is here. Holy God. Oh my God. Jesus Christ is here. I don't know what to say. I think I'm swearing too much. Terry Snow Queen is here. C-Man is here. So is One Up Charlie hanging out like that. Vic Zixty is here. That's good stuff. All kinds of good people. Jay Aspervic is hanging out. Ben Jr., ECR, all kinds of good people. Thank you guys for joining me. I do appreciate it. Hope you guys are having a good time hanging out with your copious fat man. And as a little bit of reward, I was not going to be taking calls, but now I'm going to because my review is basically done. I've said all I have to say. SmackDown was far superior. I'm going to rate it somewhere around I think it was an 8. Maybe as high as an 8.5. Great show for a televised, just weekly television show. Fantastic. Did great. Very, very, very happy about it. So what did you guys think? Hit me up in the comment section. Let me know what you thought about SmackDown. I want a rating out of 10 right now. Hit me up what you thought about WWE SmackDown. Also, Kill310 is here. So is TKO Rising. Just Too Sweet, and the SA Gaming is here as well. Let's take some calls and get some stuff going on. C-Man, first caller of the night. You're live with Dead on Dave, or of the day, I should say. What you got?
What's up, man? How's it going?
Pretty good. Jesus Christ is in the chat. I mean, I'm pretty excited about that. Apparently, I have a friend
I better
in
watch
Jesus.
my language.
You need to watch it. I have a friend in Jesus, apparently. That's awesome.
Jesus is everybody's friend, man.
yes. And well, not everybody. The Muslims probably not so much, but still.
Well, I mean, certain people.
I'm just
but
saying.
Jesus loves
You
them
said
anyway.
everybody. If you say buddy, we gotta say buddy. All right, what do you got?
Well,
for
I
me,
mean,
buddy?
all right. It's kind of crazy. Like SmackDown's been consistently good, and I can't really recall all that many solid episodes of SmackDown, like dating from 2007 up until the recent brand split. So the fact that it's been consistently solid is mind blowing.
Well, they're not deviating. You know, like the last 3 weeks, it's been essentially the same show. You know, I'm not talking like repetitiveness, but I'm talking the way that they've built it. Strong beginning. They continue the storyline throughout the middle of the show, and they end hard. And throughout, they give us a couple of really good matches. The fact that we don't have to sit through a third hour of drivel also helps as well. They can just kind of pack it with good stuff. Even though tonight did have a couple of throwaway matches, didn't take away from the overall greatness of the show. It just, nothing stopped the flow.
Right. Do you think the reason, like, for the recent success is because of the booking, or the superstars kind of taking the shit they're given and molding it into like a statue, so to say?
You know, for once, I'm going to actually give the credit to the booking. I'm going to give credit to the book because wrestling-wise, there really hasn't been a problem with the wrestling in WWE for a long time. Maybe it's a little bit hindered. It's not as extreme as other places or whatever you want to call it, but the wrestling is fairly botch-free most of the time and solid. But it's the booking that takes you out of it emotionally and doesn't allow you to connect. SmackDown doesn't have that problem. SmackDown is booking everything fantastically because they're not overthinking. They're just going out there and they're putting the emphasis on these guys and not giving them too much to do.
See, I think SmackDown's proof that we don't have to go back to like a PG-14 rating just to get good shit out of wrestling.
Well, I think NXT proved that. I think everybody was talking about for years, the last 3 years, everyone's talked about the PG stuff being a cancer, yet NXT has been every bit as good as anywhere else around the world. Historically, the last 3 years of NXT, I think you can put up there with New Japan. I think you put up there with the best of Ring of Honor. I think NXT has been absolutely fantastic, and they have not done one thing beyond PG in the last 3 years. They don't need to. I think the PG argument is bullshit, personally.
I agree.
Like, what is it? What was that fucking movie? God damn. Detroit Rock City. Good tunes is good tunes. Plain and fucking simple. At the end of the day, good wrestling is good wrestling. Good show is good show. That's it.
Right.
What else you got for me, C-Man? You got anything else?
I mean, what do you think of the heel turn for Ziggler. Like, do you think this is actually going to have anything of substance to it, or is there just going to be another flop?
No, I feel like there is something different here. The best that Ziggler's been in his career is when he's been heel. And even the last time when he was heel, when he was kind of like a bad boy thing, it still was better than almost anything he's done as a face. So I'm thrilled that he's a heel again, even though I've gotten tired of him at times. This is a way to kind of revitalize him, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what he's going to do. Love that his first opponent's going to be Apollo Crews. Fantastic maneuver there. I'm very happy about it.
After what happened with the WWE title match with Ambrose back at SummerSlam, like the promos leading up to that had me super fucking amped, and it was the first time in years I was excited to see a Ziggler match, and then they just kind of fucking shit the bed, and it was just another flop. So that's where I'm kind of taking this with a grain of salt. I think it's exciting that they're doing a heel turn for him, but at the same time, it's Ziggler, and he just kind of has that, I guess, curse about him that bites him in the ass.
Yeah, I think he's a constant victim of connectability. People love to talk about his in-ring ability and everything, but I think the problem is with him is he's such a carbon copy of Shawn Michaels, and you can't, like, here's the thing: some people want to say, you know, if you're gonna copy somebody, copy the best. Well, the problem with that is when you copy one, arguably, and look, in my opinion, the greatest to ever do this in the ring, the greatest sports entertainer, whatever you want to call it, is Shawn Michaels. And it's not like Shawn Michaels wrestled 40 years ago. We're coming off of, he just retired 6 years ago, whatever it was. So for this soon to be such a blatant ripoff, you're shooting yourself in the foot because you can't compare. And it doesn't matter how good Ziggler is. And he is good. He's great.
Yeah.
But he's a copy, and it hurts him. So hopefully this heel turn will distinguish himself a little bit more. That's what I'm hoping.
Yeah. No, that's what I'm hoping for too, man.
Good stuff. All right, Mr. C-Man. You have yourself a good night, or good day. Fuck, I don't even know where I am anymore.
Well, I'm going to bed. I haven't fucking slept yet, so
well, get some sleep, you hoser.
Yeah. Yeah, you got it, homie. Take care.
All right, buddy. Take it easy there. Home slice. Take it easy, buddy.
Yo, peace.
Word to your mother. All right. So, yeah, we are taking your calls live on Skype. David Vancura, DavidVancura. And, of course, the number, 702-751-2902. Let's take another caller. 248. You're live with Dead on Dave. My wife's on the toilet. How you doing, wife? Taking a dump. I see you. Doors open. 248. You're live with Dead on Dave. What you got? Oh, I got a kiss blown at me from the toilet. Very nice. Sorry, 248. My wife's on the toilet and I'm infatuated. What you got? You're live with Dead on Dave.
How you doing tonight, Dave?
Pretty good. Watching my wife take a dump. It's fun.
I was just wondering, for what they're doing with the Miz and the Dean Ambrose thing, do you think that Renee Young will ever get in the ring and wrestle?
She's talked about it at times. I think it's a good possibility that she does. I don't think she needs to. I really want to see her in a Miss Elizabeth role. I see Dean Ambrose as kind of an offshoot of Macho Man anyway. I think if they go that route, it's a really smart way to go. It's safe. It's easy. It's not asking her too much to do. She's never wrestled in the past. There's no point in risking her getting hurt. I want to see her be a Miss Elizabeth, man. I want to see a woman who is just there to kind of just be revered. You know, I mean, like she carries herself in a different way. And obviously he's not the exact same gimmick as the Macho Man, but the same vibe is there. And I really do enjoy those two together, and I want to see this happen. I think it's a very smart way to go at the moment with the booking with The Miz. I know some people are a little upset that The Miz lost the Intercontinental Championship, but I think it was a good move, not only for the ratings war that is now significant for the first time in a long time, but because, you know, yes, The Miz's championship run has been very good, but seeing The Miz constantly go back and forth and seeing what he's going to do now to try to get his title back is very fucking interesting.
Right.
You got anything else for me, Mr. 248?
Do you think John Cena went off script today when he went off on AJ Styles?
No. John Cena probably doesn't have much of a script to adhere to anyway. But I think that was pretty much the plan. It seemed like very much the plan. It was a prototypical Cena promo with a little bit of extra thrown in. but I think it was pretty much the plan of what they had.
All right. One more thing. Who do you think the identity of La Luchadora is?
Oh, I can tell you for certain who is playing La Luchadora right now. It's Deonna Purrazzo, independent wrestler.
Yeah,
She's been with
I heard
NXT. That's well, it's confirmed. That is who is playing her now. But that doesn't necessarily mean that is who is going to be revealed as La Luchadora. And they're playing a lot of mind games with the identity, with Becky Lynch being her, and tonight, last night, whatever, Alexa Bliss being her. So they don't have to stick with Deonna, but I think it's the best way. I talked about that earlier in this show. I highly recommend listening to that if you want to know my entire reasoning, because I think it's a way to build somebody up instantly without having them have a lengthy NXT run. So I like this idea.
All right. Well, thank you for accepting my call. And,
hey, no problem. Hey, hit me up with your rating before you leave. What did you think of tonight rating out of 10? What did you like?
I'd give it about an 8.
I think it's fair. I'm somewhere between a 7 and an 8. I thought it was a really good show. I appreciate that. I appreciate you supporting the show. You have yourself a good night, buddy.
All right, you too.
Over the top rope you go. Good shit. Good shit, good shit, good shit. Let's see. You guys did put your ratings in the chat. Let me go back and look at that. I feel bad I didn't read it. Mystic Fox Gaming, I saw, gave it a 6. She was a little bit down on it tonight. That's a little upsetting. Naked Zombie Paranormal gave it a 7 out of 10. So did TKO Rising. It was too sweet. Luke B gave it an 8 out of 10. Good Shiza, Mein Kaiser there. Yeah, we got some good ratings, man. Good ratings. Ooh, speaking of the one and only Mystic, she's bringing some sexiness to the channel. Mystic, you are live with Dead on Dave. Now, I see you did not love SmackDown as much as the rest of us did. Care to tell us why?
Oh, God.
Ooh, you're low. You're low. You got to turn that mic up.
Is this a little bit better?
Little bit better, but I can still barely hear you.
It's 3 in the morning, Dave.
Why are you awake?
I was talking to a certain somebody.
Uh-oh. Are you having a little online booty call action? Wife, get the phone. It's Tommy. Tell him to fuck off. Tell him to fuck off. I'm live.
Not an online booty call per se, but just like getting to know one another, I guess.
No, fair enough. Well, what did you think of SmackDown? Because I can barely hear you.
Okay. What I thought of SmackDown is I thought it was quite a cringy episode. Now, I did miss the first 20 minutes. I did not see the opening. But I caught it just in the middle of the Baron Corbin Ziggler match, and I do agree that it was a great match. There was a lot of amazing matches, but just the La Luchadora match and the whole thing with La Luchadora in general, to me, makes me cringe.
Really?
And the fact that they're still trying to keep the whole feud with Alexa Bliss together by making her La Luchadora, and then the real La Luchadora comes up, and then everything starts.
Well, I see that as because they don't really have another competitor for Alexa Bliss at the moment. So this is a way to keep Becky, while not necessarily going after the title, keeping her in the situation until they reveal who the third person is, and then they can pivot her off to that person while Alexa moves on to whoever the next competitor is, whether it be someone from NXT, whether it be who I'm expecting it to be, Mickie James. This is a good way to kind of fill that void. So I actually really like the booking. I think it's pretty smart.
Well, I guess it's smart in that sense, but Dave, you gotta remember, there's a whole other roster of women back there.
Like who?
You gotta
like who? Who?
I'll get to the Nikki Bella Natalia situation in a bit, but you got Carmella doing NXT girls with the whole James Ellsworth bullshit.
Carmella barely got through the Nikki Bella feud. She ain't ready.
What do you mean by that?
I didn't like that feud with Nikki all that much. I thought the best thing that they did was the pivot to Natalia. Carmella didn't start to shine in that feud for me until the very end of it. And even then, it's like her ring work, I don't feel when she's in there with people who are obviously better. Look, if you're not outshining Nikki Bella in the ring, there's a problem. And the fact is, most of the time in that feud, Nikki looked better in the ring than Carmella. That's an issue to me. That's a big issue.
Well, damn. Well, whatever. Anyway.
Fuck off, fat fuck.
I can't think of comprehensible thoughts. But, Jesus. But the thing is, with the whole La Luchadora thing, just makes me want to just stop watching and go on my phone.
Oh,
like,
wow.
the whole, like, the only thing that really caught my eye was the fact that it was Alexa Bliss and not the actual one. You could tell that it wasn't the actual one via the skin tone from the underneath, because you can obviously tell there is a woman of color under that mask.
Yeah, well, it's just someone a little bit tanner. Deonna Purrazzo, I think she's just Italian. So
No, well then it's not Deonna.
no, it's 100% Deonna. It's confirmed. It's Deonna Purrazzo who's playing her. 100% confirmed.
Looks like there's a. It looks like a black woman under that mask.
I know, but if you look at Deanna's face, somebody actually put the face under the mask, and Deanna's right next to it. You could tell. Like Deanna's really dark. She's Italian. She's dark as shit. And under the mask with the shading and everything, yeah. And now it's been confirmed. It's been leaked backstage that that's who it is.
I need to see that post because I was actually looking for pictures of her. I could not find any.
There's some good ones out there. You just gotta search. Google's amazing.
I looked at Google for a good 20 minutes. Anyway, I'll stop rambling about this. This La Luchadora just gives me a headache. Anyway, with the whole Nikki Bella and Natalya thing, I don't like Natalya as a heel, personally. And her mic work as a heel is okay at best.
It was better this week than it was last week.
Yeah, I guess I can give it that. The whole Bret Hart with the Tumblr, fuck, Twitter, god damn it.
Here's the thing. I see where you're going with it, but here's the thing. She was terrible as a face. She was awful. She was getting really almost comically bad, and they don't know what to do with her most of the time, so they have her do a farting gimmick and the crazy cat stuff. It doesn't work. So let's try the heel stuff, and if she goes where she's going tonight, I think there's something to build here. The fact is, she probably doesn't have a whole hell of a lot of time left anyway, and this is one of those last feuds. That's what it feels like to me. Like one of those last type of feuds that she never got to do, and now she gets to feud with Nikki Bella, and then the winner of that could be the next person after Mickie James, maybe the WrestleMania opponent for Alexa Bliss, if Alexa's still holding the title, if Mickie doesn't take it off her, which I do think is a possibility. Setting up Mickie James, Natalya, Mickie James, Nikki Bella, that could be a very interesting feud going into WrestleMania. I think they have options. That's why I'm not coming down too hard, because I do agree with you on some of what you're saying about the women's division on SmackDown. The biggest problem is there's no depth.
Sure. Yeah. You have a point there.
Well, Dead on Dave always has points. I'm dead on. I can't help that. It's what makes me sexy, Mystic. It's what brings you back here all the time. My copiousness, my dead onness. I can't help that. I can't stop being awesome.
There's some truth to that. But yeah, I gave it a 6 out of 7 because of mostly the 6 out of fuck.
You are tired, girl. You need to get your ass some sleep.
Boy, it's 3:44 in the morning.
You need to get yourself some sleep.
Right now. Yes, this is I want to take the opportunity because I'm never here for the SmackDown show.
That's true. You're really not. But I usually don't do them at this time. But this might become more of a frequent thing because, man, staying up all night sucks.
Yeah, isn't it around 12 in the afternoon over there?
It is 12:45 in the afternoon here in Germany right now. Yes, I love this. I'm much more awake. Look at me. I'm vibrant. I'm alive.
Nice. He's alive.
He's alive. Well, look, Miss Mystic, I appreciate your rating and your call. Some made some very good points. And I appreciate you staying up. Your commitment is commendable. But go get some sleep.
I will, Dave. Trust me, I will.
All right. Go into a coma, and I'll talk to you later.
Okay, see ya, Dave.
She's
Bye.
so cute. She's so cute. All right. So we are taking your guys' calls right here on Skype. David Vancura, DAVIDVANCURA. And of course, the number 702-751-2902. Just a couple more callers, and then I'm going to get up out of here. Did a little bit longer than I thought I was going to do, but there was actually, surprisingly, more to talk about than I thought. I was really just wanting to come in and say SmackDown was great. It kicked Raw's ass. Done. But there was a little bit more to it because SmackDown was just, there was a lot of nuances that made SmackDown great tonight. Was it perfect? No, there was definitely some down points, but nothing that blew the flow, and that's all that matters. I think that's going to wrap it up. I hope you guys had a fantastic time hanging out with me. I know it's all kinds of early where you is, but I appreciate you guys coming out, showing commitment, hanging out with your copious fat man. This is good stuff. Make sure you're checking out everything on the channel. I don't know if I'm doing anything else today. I know I'm going to be recording with Andre Corbeil tonight. Should be almost 100% doing that. So who knows? I might do a Dead on Dave. I might take a night off. I need to get a little bit of rest. We got a lot coming up over the next few days. Definitely going to be recording the first episode of Catch 33 at some point. We got Nerd and the Jerk every single Friday now, so we're going to be doing that as well. Lots of stuff going on. Hopefully you guys are checking out everything that's going on in the channel and having a good time doing it. I appreciate you guys so much. I can't tell you. Super Rising Storm says, what's your opinion on Baron Corbin as of right now? He's the future. He's the future. That's my opinion of him. He is the future. He's absolutely awesome. He's awesome. He's got some work to do on the mic. He's got to get better, but I really like him a lot. I do. I'm a big fan. Great improvement from what he was when he started. All right, that's going to do it. I hope you guys enjoyed it. We'll see you next time right here on Dead on Dave Productions. Make sure you drop a like on the video on the way out and subscribe to the channel. We don't go anywhere without you. Hit me up on Twitter at DeadOnDaveV. Come join the Discord. Links in the description box as well as over on the Twitter. It's posted. It is the pinned tweet, so you can join the Discord anytime you like. All right, thank you guys very much. We'll see you next time. Keep it copious, guys. Check out everybody that's within the community, because remember, if you don't have talent, have talented friends like Tommy C over Shopping the Point, Andre Corbeil, go check him out, and KolossalisCrazy, Jeff Huffman, Grand Slam Entertainment, Real Talk, the Metaphor Messiah, the official musician of Dead on Dave Productions, and Guncannon 15. Guncannon, he's the man. He does all my graphics, and he does a great job. Thank you guys very much for joining us. Keep it copious. And peace.